Aloha, gang, and welcome to Missing Mondays. Yes, they are here. The dogs are here and ready. And I've been waiting for treats and all that. I've been so busy just trying to get some new information on this, as well as the case I was going to initially cover today. Many of you guys may have seen the thumbnail and the posters. For those of you who shared out Aries' story earlier today, thank you so much. Many of you guys may have heard Aries actually was found. I'll give you whatever information I have right now, which is not a lot, right after, the introduction and all. However, tonight's case, a new case that I came up by, it's not a new case. This is an old case. It's from 2009. I myself don't remember this story. I can't believe everything involved in this story, and this story I think is still going on right now. Sometimes you get cold cases and you kind of have a feeling what's happened, and guys, I think this little boy is still out there, and I think we need to get his picture back out there of what he looks like today. So pull up your paper, notes. This is going to be I have 9 pages worth of notes on this case. It's a lot involved in this case. And so pull up a chair. I'm going to give the dogs a treat, and I'll be right back.
Aloha and welcome to the Local My Life.
So welcome back. Yes, Cassie is sitting here wanting attention to herself and no one else. Exactly. That's the way it goes. First of all, a lot of highs. To those of you who've been waiting since the normal time, we were going to go live an hour ago. And those of you who've been waiting the last few minutes. First of all, Positive Sib, thank you so much earlier. Positive Sib recognized we were going to be talking about Aries and saw the information on Coco 5 that he had been found. Just to let you guys know, Aries is an adorable little 2-year-old. You can go back onto my community tab and pull up the pictures of him. Oh my gosh, he was so cute. He was last seen by his father at around 1:30 this morning. Dad woke up at 6:30 this morning and said he could not find him. He was later on found. His body was found about a half a mile away from his house. I'm not sure if there's been new updates in the last hour or so, but he did pass away. If we hear more information, I'll definitely let you guys know what I hear. But thank you, Positive Sib, for letting me know about that. Also, Chris is our king of cold cases. And yes, this one is a cold case. This is a case from 2009. Guys, think about the world has changed so much just since COVID, and this was way before even that. This is a case that has been going on. Baby Gabriel. I mean, it was so long ago, but so much has happened in that time. And also, hopefully we can share more cold cases and all, because they're still missing and they still need us to speak for them. AJ, how you doing, Mr. AJ? Hello, my dear. And Miss Rosaline, how you doing, my dear? Let's see. Ooh, we got Susan. Hello, Miss Susan. And PJ, hey PJ, I am so sorry. I had planned on making your Missing Mondays also today. And then when all this happened, everything went out the door. And I was trying to do research and listening to audio and stuff like that. But thank you. I will catch the replay though. And Grandma Sherry, hello, my dear Grandma Sherry. Kelly, how you doing? There's Sleuth Mom. By the way, everyone, 1 year that Sleuth Mom has been over here on these tubes. So, gang, wish her a happy anniversary. 1 year. It goes by so freaking quick. It's amazing how quick this time goes. Let's see, Kelly. We got Kelly here. Who else? BC made it. Hello, my dear Belle. Hello. Frazzled Mom. Oh, my gosh. Okay, Frazzled Mama 3. I don't got kids, but these dogs have me frazzled. Totally, utterly freaking frazzled. So I get you, girl. And KK, you're okay. You were discharged from the, okay, I'm happy you are home again, my dear, and love you, my dear. And so, yeah, Sleuth, it's funny, because I jumped the gun yesterday thinking Ariel's case was yesterday when it's tomorrow is her 1-year anniversary. And I was sitting there thinking about how, it was that's what brought you and I together as friends. Okay, was her case. And the time goes so freaking quick. Really goes quick. So I think that's everyone for right now here. Yes, it is. It is everyone. So let me, sorry. Okay, let me real quickly just pop this out so I can see my chat. I don't know why that was doing it that way. Okay, here we go. Now I can follow you guys on chat without switching tabs and all that stuff. So, as I said, this case, usually I tend to follow cases that are really fairly recent because unfortunately we do know how the longer time goes, the less the chances that we're going to find people, okay, the higher the risk of things happening, stuff like that. And those first couple days are so important for us to act on. So I tend to focus very heavily on those that have been gone missing in the last couple days. Okay, like with Aries, he went missing overnight. And so when I started looking around and I saw this, actually a brand new post in one of the missing Facebook groups, and I looked at it and then I saw the time frame and I was like, whoa. And it shared something with me by looking at it and looking how people continue to this day, 2009 to 2022. And there are people who are still missing. Okay, they are still missing. Their family misses them. They want their loved ones back. And you know what? You and I can stop watching videos. We can stop making videos about them and stuff like that, but it's not going to change the truth and the fact that there are people out there whose lives are not complete right now. And so I started looking into Gabriel. Gabriel, let me pull this little guy up. Okay, Gabriel here. Gabriel went missing, like I said, 2009. He was officially reported missing on the 27th. However, he did go missing before that. So to go through some of the information here, he would be 13 years old right now. As we go through this, you're going to realize there is a very, very high probability that this little one was adopted out through Black or gray adoption. Okay, for those of you who don't know, Black adoption it's real. It's where people grab kids and they adopt them out. There's nothing legal about it. Nothing at all legal about it. Gray adoption is pretty close to the same. The only difference is you have lawyers involved. And but it's still ethically, they don't have systems in place. They don't have all these things in place that protect the child and the family. Okay, it is, and I'll go into it a little bit more in depth as we get to that part of this case. But this little guy may very well have been put up for adoption by his mother without his father's approval. His father, to this day, wants his little boy back. His little boy, instead of being 7.5 months old, is now 13. And hey, Tim, how you doing, my dear? And also, how did this whole story start? Okay, the story itself started back when Mom and Dad met. We have Elizabeth Johnson, who was 23, and Logan McQuarrie. Okay, they connected up. I'm going to bring this up. You can see pictures of Mom and Dad there. They lived in Tempe, Arizona, and they got together like most couples do. You get together, things look okay from the outside, but there were definitely issues in this relationship. They hid them. They tried to, look like things were going great, but There were a lot of troubles. Basically, Elizabeth, when she was growing up, had a very troubled childhood and background. She was abandoned as a child by both of her parents. From there, after being abandoned, she was put into foster care, and she was raised in the foster care system. Now, you guys and I know some foster care systems are wonderful. Some foster parents are amazing. They are God's gift to everyone because they have hearts that never give up. All they want to do is share their heart with a child. There are others out there that, no. Okay, they're not good. They're not there about sharing. They're there for the finances. We all know that's out there. You have good, bad out there. Being brought up in the foster care system for her basically led to many issues. Some are normal issues that we all, okay, if you're part of a foster care setup, you're going to have. If you're abandoned by a parent when you're a child, you have abandonment issues. It's going to be natural. Those are issues you have to work through. So she had abandonment issues. She had trust issues. And those things would pop up in her relationship with Logan. Okay, Logan would, they'd get in big fights. She did not ever really develop the skills to deal with arguments. You know how most of us, okay, as we're young, when you get mad at stuff, you stomp your feet, you throw a temper tantrum, you won't talk to anyone about anything. Your emotions go from internal to external many times as a child. That's where hers still were. Okay, they would have fights and the fight would become physical to the point where, for example, one time they had a full emotional outburst outside. There was a fire outside. Okay, I guess camping, I'm not sure. And the fight progressed to the point where she actually pushed him into the fire. So, hey, Red Rocks. And so this is a woman who definitely does have issues that she's having to deal with. Over time, the relationship kept getting worse, but then something happened that brought them together. Bingo, bango, she got pregnant. And a lot of people, we all know how it goes. We think that, oh, I'm pregnant. Hey, Seal, how you doing, my dear? And you get pregnant and you think that's going to fix the relationship and things like that. And you know what? For a while, it really helped. Okay, for a while, it kind of pulled them closer together. But then throughout it, a lot of her fears and things started popping back up. And she started realizing she did not want to be a mom. She did not want the baby. Okay, while Logan, on the other hand, definitely wanted this child. And there was discussion she had of ending the pregnancy. And something happened at some point and she decided not to. She went through with the pregnancy, changed her mind, and hey, Ringo, how you doing, Ringo? Mwah. I love having all you guys here. By the way, I'm so upset that I missed someone's 1-year anniversary get-together party, but we will make up for it someday. And so everything kind of comes together. On May 3rd, 2009, Gabriel was born. Okay, little Gabriel was born. Okay, the moment Gabriel came into their lives, her issues really started to explode. Okay, the immaturity that she was already showing seemed to get worse. Being a parent is not easy. Okay, I mean, we've got right here, we got frazzled in here right now. It's not easy. Okay, you've got, especially of a newborn, a baby who cries all the time and you're not sure, are they crying because they are wet or they want to eat or they, whatever it is, they can't tell you. So if you already are having issues with keeping your temper under control, okay, it's going to become 10 times worse. And that's what happened here. Her temper continued to get worse. She couldn't stand hearing the baby cry. Anytime Gabriel would cry, her reaction was to take Gabriel, put him in a room on his own, and walk out of the room. Now, I will say this. You're welcome, Ringo. We're told if your child gets on your nerves to the point where you're worried you're going to react, leave them alone for a few seconds, okay, and come back after you've calmed down. That's not what she was doing. She literally reacted by isolating the baby, having him self-soothe while she went on with her life. So things continued to get worse like that. Logan also in the same front was walking on eggshells all the time. Okay. He didn't want to risk her blowing up. So she was always, okay. He would just, I got to be careful. I got to be careful about everything going on. She got very paranoid about, oh my gosh, Logan loves the baby more than me. They would have fights routinely about that. Okay, is Logan going out and falling in love with other women? A lot of jealousy going on. So you're seeing definitely a situation that's not healthy in the least bit. She would go to his shoes, do little things. Okay, Crystal is here. Hey, it's okay, girl. Hey, I'm a whole hour late. What can I say, girl? You're good, my dear. Love you. She would do little things to upset her husband, Logan. Okay, she would go to his shoes and cut the tongue of the shoes out. She'd cut the shoe laces. She would do all sorts of things to cause trouble and to just kind of keep everyone on edge. Of course, over time, sooner or later, Logan realized, I can't. I got to get out of this. This is not healthy to me. It's not healthy for the baby. Okay, something has to happen here, and I got to leave. So he made the decision to leave. Her response, and the reason why I'm telling you a lot of this stuff, this backstory, because it really does make a difference as to what happened. Okay, it kind of gives you an idea. And yeah, Crystal, this little guy is adorable. Oh my gosh. I guarantee you with those eyes, he is a looker now. Oh, you didn't get frazzled until they were in your 30s. Okay. I think my mom could actually agree with you on that one. Yeah, she and I were having fun last night. We get our own minds at a certain point, don't we? And also, so he decided, he goes to her and tells her, hey, I'm leaving. This is not working. This is not going to work. I'm going to leave. Her response to him leaving is not, oh, please stay, or, oh, get the fuck out, or anything like that. It's nothing like that. What her response was, well, I want to put Gabriel up for adoption then. If you're going to leave me, I'm putting Gabriel up for adoption. I'm putting my couple-month-old child up for adoption. Okay. We're starting to see a woman who is not connected with her child whatsoever. Okay, issues that are going on. Of course, what's he going to say? He loves this kid. Nana's coming. Yay. I can't wait till Nana gets here. I'll say hi when she gets here. This little one, his mom is like, oh, well, I'm just going to put him up for adoption. Dad loves this kiddo. And of course, what he's going to do is do what most parents are going to do. Oh, hell no, we're not putting this kid up for adoption. If you don't want the kid, he's my child. I'll take him if you don't want him. But no, he's not going up for adoption. They went back and forth, and it ended up in court. Court comes together. Court initially says, no, adoption is not happening because the dad is refusing to allow an adoption to occur, and he has the right to have that say. So that out the door immediately. In the end, however, the two were they awarded split joint custody, equal custody. And everything went well for a few months. Okay, they really did. Everything they were going and handing over, they were both in Tempe. Okay, one would take for a while, then the other would take for a while. And things continued like that until December 18th, 2009. Gabriel, at this point, is between 7 and 8 months old. Logan is getting ready for first Christmas, baby's first Christmas. You guys know what it's like. And they had decided that he would have the baby for Christmas. So even more excited. Okay, think about all the things you do at Christmas. So he's going to go pick up Gabriel so they can go head over to get photos with Santa done, buy gifts. Can't wait to see him opening up. 8 months is kind of cute because they're not newborn enough where they just sleep. They can have fun. Of course, they're having more fun with the wrapping paper than the toy, but yeah, it's fun. He's excited about it. He goes over to pick Gabriel up over at Elizabeth's house. He gets to Elizabeth's house and Elizabeth and Gabriel are not home. He goes looking closer, looking through the windows, things like that, and notices very quickly, not only are they not home, all of the doors to the closets, all the drawers in the clothes areas, okay, wardrobes and all, were all pulled out, and it looked like all the clothes were gone from what he could see. He knew immediately that she had ran with the baby. And so he called up the police. Oh, thank you, Cristola. Thank you, my dear. And I love telling stories. What can I say? And so it's a theater in me. And but no, thank you. So he's sitting there. He calls the police. The first thing any of us would do, yeah? You call the frickin' police. My little boy is missing. My ex-wife or whatever, ex-girlfriend, whatever, has taken him. The police don't really do anything. I don't know if it's a combination of 2009 versus 2022 or what. Of course, there is a custody thing that's involved here. She does have half custody. So the police are like, we really can't do anything. She does have custody also. She's not doing anything legal. So they didn't do anything. December 18th until the 27th. Nothing done. As you can tell from the first poster that I did, the reporting date for him going missing was the 27th. Okay. During this time, she had access to her grandfather's car. Okay. She had her granddad's car, never gave it back. She was on social media posting on occasion and all, but nothing specific at that time. Okay. Well, I'm not going to say nothing specific because I'll be honest. What I've seen, and I'll share some of these things later, no, it was stuff that needed to, and I'm sorry, law enforcement, I don't think did what they should have been doing at that point. I understand we do have rights and all, but when we're dealing with a child and you have issues like have happened here, we do have to take, we don't know if a child's in danger. And that ties in with this next bit, because what happened was on December 27th, okay, so 9 days later, Logan receives a text from an unknown number. Okay, does not recognize this number whatsoever, but he immediately thinks it's got to be Elizabeth. The text says this, quoted, "You will never find me. I'm already boarding a plane out of the country. When I'm safe, I'll email you. The exact location of dead Gabriel's little blue body if the garbage doesn't come first. Okay. How many days later, he's getting this text? Okay, as a parent, what's the first thing you're going to do? You're going to call cops. Yeah? Okay. Which he did. Actually, what he did before he did that, yeah, it's fucking sick. It is so infuriating. I am going to bring up what he did do actually. Before he called the police, he actually called the phone number. He recognized the text was from a number. He didn't know, is this someone playing games with me? Is it Elizabeth? What is it? I'm going to call that number back. That is what he did. So, first of all, I'd like to share this. This came off of a channel. I'm not sure if any of my mods got the link to it. Let me actually share this right here. For you guys, this woman did an amazing job with this story. Did I share? Okay, I shared the right one. No, it's not. It's a crime. It's someone else, but she actually sets it up just like it's a crime does. I wanted to share, you guys can go back and watch her story. Also, I actually did not get through the whole thing because I was running so late trying to get to this, but I got through the majority of it. I want to share with you the audio of the recording that he made with, thank you, Sleuth Mom, Danelle Hallan. And she actually, I'm going to watch more of her stuff. I really like what I saw there. This is audio of the phone call between Logan and who turned out to be actually Elizabeth. So let me play this real quickly. And yes, Elizabeth, exactly.
And just as a warning, the things she says are going to make you sick.
Where are you?
Maybe it's a bunker. You want to talk to girl? That's like that.
It is not her baby.
Because she says, I suffocated them. I put them in a paper bag and I put them in a trash can. You know she cares about me. I care about this girl. And he's gone now. You know when people love and just push me anyway. You just destroyed my life.
I have destroyed anything.
Yes, you have. Look, you made me kill my baby boy. So find some new girl to make your new baby.
So at this point, Elizabeth
Okay. Please feel free, go to her channel, watch it, give her a thumbs up for this because it really, she did great. Listening to that audio gang. Okay. Yes, Seal, that face right there is about the only thing I can actually think of saying without blowing up my... This is a woman who's more worried about herself than her child, her 7 or 8 month old child. She used her son to get back at her ex. She does remind me of Linda. And so please do check out her channel. Let her know that I'm sending her over to you guys. I'm going to actually be checking her out. I don't know what she's done recently, but just watching the video that I did, I really appreciated her approach to things. And so at this point, I know I mentioned adoption and all, but at this point, everything is leading towards the idea that she killed baby Gabriel. And she did it as revenge against her ex. He went, KK, he went to go pick up his son on December 18th. That phone call happened on the 27th. So I'm not sure the exact date beforehand. Unfortunately, I kind of came in on this whole case. I almost pushed it off till tomorrow to get a little bit more information, but I didn't want to make people wait longer. But it was at least this amount of time. And when you hear everything that's happened during this time frame, yeah. So he called the police right away. This is now his second time he's called the police. The first time was on the 18th to say, my child is gone with his mother. This time it is, I got this text message take a look at this text message. I just called the phone number, and this is what I'm being told. My child may have been killed by his mother. Okay, so he went and called up the police on the 27th. Not much happened. I'm not sure what time during the day that happened, but nothing really happened on the 27th when it comes to, yes. At this point, we are taught, well, we're thinking it's Tempe, Arizona. We're going to discover over time, no, she was actually in San Antonio at the time, Texas. December 28th, the next morning rises, and the authorities went into full force action. And they kicked ass. They did good. That's why I wish to God they had taken this more seriously from the beginning, because maybe they could have prevented whatever happened from happening, because they were able to track her down within a week or so. And it's okay, Cristola. It's cool, my dear. I didn't know if people would catch it or not. So, at this point, Gabriel and Elizabeth had been gone for 1 week. Okay, during that 1 week, 9 days, so much happened. And that time frame and the things that happened have affected possibly their ability to ever find this little guy. And within a day, if that, they found her, they tracked her all the way to San Antonio, Texas. Now, why is that confusing? Okay, yeah, hey, I go San Antonio all the time. Elizabeth knew no one in San Antonio. She had no contact with anyone in San Antonio. No family, no friends, no one. Why the hell is she running to? Most people, when you run away or do something like this, you want to go somewhere that you have a little bit of a feeling for because you know the location. Border is a possibility, definitely. Okay, there's so many. Why is she heading to this one location? She arrived there on either the 20th or 22nd. So the original disappearance on the 18th, from what we can understand, 2 days later, she is in San Antonio. Once she got to San Antonio, she actually stayed in 2 different hotels at different times. She did also look for a job while she was there. A number of women were interviewed by the police saying that they were at a strip club when she came into the strip club and auditioned for a job there. They remember her specifically. They're positive it was her. However, we don't know, did she get the job or not? I don't know that. But what we do know is she never came back. She came in for the job interview and then disappeared. And also after that, nothing. Okay. From that moment until the 27th, no one knows what's going on. So the 21st, 22nd, okay, we got a whole week period here where no one knows what she was doing. Okay. Until she showed up with that text message. Okay. The next thing police were able to track out was on December 27th. Now, okay, a day before the phone call. I think it was a day before the phone call. She actually bought a Greyhound ticket. And I could not find out where that Greyhound ticket was to. But there is video of her getting on that bus. Oh, wait, I do know where that ticket was to. Sorry, I'll correct that in a second. She bought the ticket, got on the Greyhound bus. Video does not show Gabriel with her. So sometime between arriving and the 27th, she's dropped Gabriel. Gabriel is gone. Now, did she kill him? or did something else happen? Okay, and that's where the question comes. Authorities did track that Greyhound ticket. The Greyhound ticket ended up with her in Miami, Florida. So there is, all of a sudden, she is as far away as possible on the mainland U.S. from Tempe, Arizona. I mean, Miami is getting as far, she's trying to get as far away as possible. And authorities tracked her there, and on either December 29th or 30th, we're getting both dates mentioned here, and I haven't been able to verify either, she was arrested in Miami, Florida at a youth hostel. When she was arrested, she was charged on 3 counts. The first, custodial interference. The second, kidnapping. And the third, child abuse. Sorry, I got puppy who wants my attention. And yes, I love you. Thank you. Yuck. And also, yes, there are a lot of clubs there too. You're right, Seal. Yeah, she sounds like a special type of terrible. Totally, utterly, yeah. And so they've charged her now with these 3 charges. Authorities start questioning her, trying to figure out, and yes, that's where part of it goes. Is there murder here? Okay, because right now, all they have is her saying she killed him. They don't have anything else at this time, so that's what they have to figure out at this point. Is there murder involved in this? What's going on? So they start talking to her. They question her on that telephone call. Okay, what the hell do you mean when you say, okay, baby blue, okay, no, okay, what do you mean by this? Her story now changes. And this is when things get interesting, because I'll be honest, once I got to this part of the story, I was like, this really may not, guys, I hate saying this, but you have to realize sometimes they are not necessarily missing and alive. They're cold cases, but not alive. And sometimes we kind of, in our heart of hearts, we feel that. And that's kind of where I was listening to what I had heard. But as this next thing started rolling out, I'm like, oh, hell, there's a whole nother side. Whole nother side to this. Her story changes, and now she is saying she went to San Antonio to meet up with a couple who wanted to adopt Gabriel under the table. Okay, she said she was there with this couple. She spent 3 days with this couple just to make sure it was the right fit for Gabriel and the couple. And she ended up, all she could remember is that she handed Gabriel over to them at a park bench in a park. Yes, Elizabeth, I honestly think there's trafficking in this case. I really honestly feel like this little boy is still out there. When asked what she could say about this, she said, all I can remember is that I handed him over at a park bench in a park, and the lady's name was Cheryl. Okay. What about the husband's name? Oh, I can't remember what his name is. Where did they live? You say you stayed with them for 3 days? Where did you stay with them? No, I can't remember that. So they're like, why the hell can't you remember this stuff? And they're like, her response was, okay, she purposely didn't remember anything. So she would not be tempted to go back and search for him if she changed her mind. Okay, that was her response here. Not, I purposely didn't ask. She purposely didn't remember. So little words there. He would be 13 years old right now, Ringo. And in fact, actually, we're almost, I'll show you the next one in just a second. they wanted to question the couple. Of course, she has nothing that she can share at this point. And in her mind, she considered it a closed adoption. She'd never find out anything else. Okay, and that's just the way it was. During this, and guys, I am going to also say this. I think there were some major issues with law enforcement here. Yes, mistakes are going to happen. We're going to talk about a couple of them a little later. But authorities, for example, told him not to go to San Antonio. He wanted to go, okay. Oh, I agree with you, Elizabeth. How the hell Casey got off, well, I'll never understand. And he wanted to go there. That's the last place his little boy was, and police were telling him not to go there. The police at this point decided they were going to focus on the fact that this was an adoption. For the first few days, that was their focus. Dad kept saying, please, there's landfills around. Please, at least, she still told me she killed him. Please at least check into this before it's too late. Okay, landfills, things like that. Come on, you've got to be researching all sides of things. So he pushed for a while, and he did finally get them to go check the landfills out. Unfortunately, they did not find anything. They checked a bunch of landfills, no results. So they were back to the idea that this could be an adoption. There's nothing to go on in their mind until they started researching. She's still in jail. They start researching, talking to her, looking at things. And they started coming across information on her computer. There was another couple that Elizabeth had been talking to before she even disappeared with the baby about a possible adoption. There was discussions, exactly, Seal, and that's part of what we're going to talk about, is San Antonio is known for these types of adoptions. I did not know that, actually, until I came across all this. She met a couple, by the name of Tammy and Jack Smith. And that is the picture at the bottom of this group of pictures here. That is Tammy and Jack Smith there. She met them at an airport a couple of months earlier. During that time, they had mentioned that they had 2 daughters and they were interested in adopting a child. And she had been talking with them about it. They had, during this time period, they had supposedly visited Gabriel, spent 10 days with Gabriel in their house in December. So during this time period, if I'm getting all my facts correct, gang, and I am sorry, this all came together really quick, but during that time frame that they were gone, she actually had Gabriel spending time with this couple. And I don't know. I've got some problems if that time frame quite works with some of the other stuff that pops up later. But you guys that follow these cases know how things can get really kind of confusing at times. But there are pictures of Gabriel with this couple and their 2 daughters. So something was definitely happening. This is not out of left field that she could have been putting her child up for adoption. There's definitely possibilities here. Now, the problem was this. They wanted to adopt, but without Logan's approval, without Dad signing off on this, they can't do anything. Okay, both parents have to sign off on the adoption of this child. And they knew they were not going to be able to get that done. So Tammy and Elizabeth started talking, trying to figure out how are we going to make this work. We want to do. Now, I am going to say something, gang. Sometimes when you're dealing with situations like this, we've all heard the cases of women, that put a child up for adoption to save the child. who's to know, okay, without knowing anything else about this family or whatever. Now, I don't trust them for anything after I found out more, but you know what? She could have been spilling a whole narrative about how she was being abused and the poor baby would be better off without mom and just in a very nice, stable family. And you know what? The people who are looking at adopting might actually fall for it and really think that they're trying to help out. Okay. I don't know what the case is here. I don't think that was the case here, but it's always a possibility. And what they did do and decide to do here, though, is Tammy and Elizabeth discovered, you know what, there is a possibility on how we can make this work. Tammy went and got court documents stating that her cousin, Tammy, the lady at the bottom here, her cousin was Gabriel's biological dad, and then forged her cousin's signature on that. So, yeah, there you go. No, Crystal, I get you. And so now we've got another group that is definitely doing illegal things. Forgery, okay, faking information just to get a child. There's a lot going on here. Something happened during this, and Elizabeth pulled out of all this. At some point during all this visit and the paperwork and all that, it looks like Elizabeth was like, no, and dropped the idea. After her arrest, though, Tammy kept, okay, Elizabeth was arrested. Tammy kept saying all sorts of things to throw the police off. Okay, she would make comments saying that, well, you know what, if Logan would just sign the adoption paperwork, then Elizabeth will say where the baby is and stuff like, okay, repeatedly trying to put all the blame on Logan. Okay, trying to send people on wild goose chases, all sorts of stuff. So she's definitely not clean and squeaky herself, put it that way. She started saying so many things, and then police tracked about signing the paper, forging her cousin's signature and stuff like that. Tammy was now arrested. Okay, so now you have Tammy arrested. She is charged in February, so 2 months later, with forgery, okay, custodial interference, and conspiracy to commit custodial interference. Gang, I'm going into all this stuff because I don't want you all to fall into that initial gut feeling of 2009, it's been so long, it'll never have a solution, because I think this little boy is out there. And we need to be able to realize that he is probably still out there, most likely, hopefully still out there and can come home. And at some point here, both Tammy and her husband were named as persons of interest. So they're definitely in there, involved in the whole thing. There are actually jailhouse phone calls between Tammy and Elizabeth. It's just crazy, the whole relationship there. Just really crazy at how they're trying to play each other off each other and stuff. In March 2010 is the next big date that we're looking at. And basically in March, after how many months of not seeing this little guy, nothing happening, and all authorities made the decision, well, the court made the decision to give Logan full custody of his son. And if he is ever found, Elizabeth has been denied any access in the future. Okay, little too little too late, but you know what? That's, if he ever does come home, that is in place. At this point, law enforcement really honestly didn't know what to do next. I mean, what do you do in these cases? I don't think they really thought there was a murder in place. She was never charged with murder. All they had was her saying she did something on a text message and then a voice message. There was no proof of anything, nothing else beyond that. So murder was never charged on her. But authorities truly came to the decision that there's most likely black or gray market adoption going on. Okay, what are those? Like I mentioned at the beginning, we all know about the black market for babies. Okay, trafficking of children, babies, completely illegal, done under the carpet. No one knows what's going on. Okay, it's all hush hush. Okay, very often it's tied to crimes to begin with. And gray market adoption is a little bit more. No, Crystal, you're good. At least I know you guys are alive because I see it. Love you, girl. At least in gray market, okay, gray market adoption, they say, oh, it's a little bit more clean. And no. They've got a lawyer in there. Okay, just because you have a lawyer involved, does that mean that it's clean and neat? No. Okay, basically in these cases, you've got these groups, these organizations that are involved, and they're set up around the nation where they bring in families, okay, and they will connect a woman who has a baby with a family, and they do contracts, and also it looks legal and stuff like that. Now, one of the important things, and I think, was it Seal who said this? I forget. Sorry, I might be misquoting this one. But in 2019, and probably still today, but I can't say that for sure, San Antonio, yes, Elizabeth. Actually, it could have been you. Gray water is still dirty water, plain and simple. Bingo. And 2019, San Antonio was known as the capital for underground adoptions. Okay, so let me go back to that first question we asked. Why would Elizabeth go from Tempe, Arizona to San Antonio, where she knew no one other than this one other couple? It's known for all of this. Okay, basically what happens is they've got these places where you've got hotels, grungy hotels in San Antonio, where women who are pregnant check in at these hotels, pregnant. Couple days later, they check out, not pregnant, no baby in sight. That's how these things are run. Okay, now, one of the biggest baby broker agencies in San Antonio, another thing, right down the street from the hotel Elizabeth was staying at. So, we're putting assumptions here together. And I know I usually do not do the assumption stuff, but guys, these are things we have to look at with this case when it's gone this long, because it's what helps us realize this little guy could very well still be out there. She goes from Tempe to San Antonio, which is known as one of the top locations to go to sell a child. She stays in a hotel that is literally down the street from one of the most well-known baby broker agencies in San Antonio. Okay. Next thing to add to everything else, okay, is a lot of times what they'll do with these babies is they take mom and the other family or whoever's going to take the baby over, and they go to certain huge, big public spaces. Six Flags is one of the ones that they use in San Antonio heavily. Because if you think about it, if you go to Six Flags, you've got hundreds of people walking all over the place. Is anyone really going to recognize if a woman is there talking with another lady, most often, probably, and gives her the baby to hold for a little while and then disappears? You're not going to recognize these things. Those are not okay, so that's where it's comfortable to do these things. Okay, it's not like going to a park where everyone's like, What's going on over on that bench or something? It's normal. People hand off their child so they can go ride a bike. So they give their friend the baby so they can ride a bike, ride one of the rides. Pretty normal. What happened December 26th? There's evidence that Gabriel and Elizabeth were at Six Flags in outside of San Antonio. Is this proof? No. Why? Okay, gang, I'm not a parent. Okay, I can't answer this. If you are a single mother of an 8-month-old child, is Six Flags the type of place you're going to go on your own? What's there for an 8-month-old to do? What rides are you going to ride if you've got to hold a baby because you don't know anyone? Too many weird things going on with something like that. And the day before the baby goes missing, she's at Six Flags. Okay. Now, on top of that, during this time, she's on social media. Okay. Yeah, gang. All of you. Okay. Louisiana girl. Nope. Seal. Nope. Okay. Elizabeth. Nope. I wouldn't go there as a nanny. Kelly. Nope. Sound exactly. Liz. Okay. Sounds like she was meeting someone there. Yes. Ringo's got it right. You go for the churros. Oh, yes. Ooh, that sounds good, actually. And also, but yeah, so during this time, she's on social media and she posts a couple comments on social media that, again, like I'm saying, if police and all were following this from the first phone call, they would have caught these text messages, these social media comments. Okay, the first one, kind of generic, but still, where there's a will, there's a way. Okay, I've said that myself. It's not proof of anything, but it's interesting. The next one, excited to start my new life. What new life is she talking about? Okay, this is all at the time frame that she would have possibly handed over her son. What new life? Her life without her child? So you have those things. Also, a picture is taken at this time on that day. In this picture, you see a ruby and diamond ring on her finger. Now, Logan looked at that ring. When she and Logan were together, she did not work. She did not bring money in whatsoever. If they ever bought a ring like a ruby and diamond ring, he would have known. And he's like, I have never seen that ring before. Yeah, Louisiana girl. I mean, all of this together, now you can understand why I'm like, no, this is a kid that's still out there, I think. And so that ring's new. There is something I did not know until I did this research into this. Common currency, when people are adopted out like this, when people use these under the carpet, okay, black market adoptions, things like that, a lot of times they won't give you money. They actually give you jewelry. Totally news to me. I had never heard that before. But a lot of times by giving the mother or the person selling the child jewelry, it's another way they can get around things. And so that ring was then looked at and they figured out what it was worth. That ring was worth $20,000. If you follow this whole way of thought process here, this is a lady who just a couple days earlier was trying to get a job in a strip club, and she has a $20,000 ring. And did she sell her child for $20,000 ring? Was that her payment? for her child. During this time, the police are looking for anything they can to show that Gabriel was around during this time. And hey, love you, my dear. Hello, and good morning or afternoon or night or something like that. And police are trying to find proof that Gabriel was around, because that's a lot of it. No one was seeing Gabriel, what was going on. They did have a lady come forward. She said she responded to a kind of like Craigslist type request looking for a babysitter. And she got there to babysit and found out it was Elizabeth and baby Gabriel. And she babysat Gabriel for one night while they were in Texas. She said, it was nothing major. Okay, she wasn't like anything screamed out weird or anything, except she said she was kind of confused because, most parents, when you've got a brand new babysitter or something like that, you kind of go through, okay, yeah, they go to sleep at this time. And, if they cry or something like this, okay, if you play this music or watch this TV show or, the normal babysitting talk and all that. When she had that normal babysitting talk with this lady, there was nothing like that. Instead, all she said was, just make sure you give him his medicine so he sleeps. Now, why would that be something concerning here? These are pictures of Gabriel in the hotel. Okay, if you look closely, this little guy is holding a medicine syringe. It all fits. It does fit. He's holding medicine syringe, looking exhausted. Okay, he has a medicine bottle. So there's definitely a lot of concerns here that are building up. But more than anything else, it did show little Gabriel was there. Okay, Gabriel was in that hotel, and he did have someone babysit him at one time. So, yeah, Elizabeth, this just really, honestly, I almost put this off till tomorrow because I kept finding more and more. And you guys know me, I don't like to assume stuff, but there's some stuff in here you can't help but look at. You can't help but look at. To finish things up, and like I said, go watch the video, okay, that I shared the link out for earlier, and everyone in mod chat, everyone mod-wise shared also. Elizabeth did go to trial 3 years later. They did decide never to charge her with murder, which is probably, I'm going to be probably the best thing, because there's no way they would have ever gotten a conviction on murder. There's nothing here that really can show that a murder happened. They also, though, did drop, in this one I've got different feelings on, they dropped the kidnapping charges. I think they dropped them because it was hard. Again, she had custody partial. They had shared custody. So depending on how things were written and stuff, it would have been hard to get kidnapping. Okay. Now, if they had gotten kidnapping, wow, she would have been in jail for a lot longer, because in the end, in 2012, 2 days after everything was settled and the jury started deliberating, they came back finding her guilty of child abuse and custodial interference. So she was found guilty of both of the charges she was brought up on. She was given 5 years. 5 years. If they had left the kidnapping there and were able to prove it, she would have been in there for 20-something years. I forget the exact number, but like 24, 25, whatever, in the 20s. Okay, there was a deal that if she would tell anyone anything about where this little guy was, okay, that she could get out without any jail time. Of course, She didn't do anything like that. She stayed in there for that time period. But that's where it got left. That's where it got left. Since then, they have looked for this little guy. A couple years ago, and I don't have a lot of information on this. Again, watch that other video. If you guys are really interested, I could do follow-ups also. There was a potential sighting at one point, but there were a lot of issues with it because they needed to do DNA, and they didn't have the DNA of Dad, even though Dad gave DNA a few years before. It had been lost. A lot of issues. At one point, the dad was talking to a law enforcement officer, thinking that was the guy in charge of the case. And this guy was literally sharing information with him. And yet he found out later this guy was not even assigned to the case anymore. It had been switched over to a different department, and he was never told. So there were a lot of different things going on with that that worry you. It does worry you, because this little guy here went missing. He's 13 years old now. That picture you're seeing there on the right, that is an age projection that's been put out for him. That picture would be of him at 12 years old. He's a year older now. But that's what we need to be looking for. Because I'll be honest, gang, there's a very good possibility if he was adopted, hey, Jet's mom, and his family may not even know this story. That's the thing. They may come across one of these videos out here one day and be like, oh my gosh, that's my little boy. And they don't know, because a lot of times underground adoptions, especially the gray market adoptions, come across looking like they are so legal and upright and done correctly. They may not have even known what happened to their little boy when he was a baby. And so it's important for us all to realize, because think about what that's like as a parent. If you did look down and all of a sudden recognize a child as your child and know something like this happened, what emotions are you going through? Having to make decisions. What do I do? How do I react to this? Okay, am I going to be blamed? Are people going to think I did something wrong if I didn't do anything wrong? And, but he needs to be with his dad. And he needs his dad in his life. And so we've already seen with his mom what abandonment looks like. Okay, when a child is abandoned by their parents, the emotions you go through and stuff. So just the ethics and the morality side of this, and just thinking it through, Elizabeth, yeah, I mean, how does that play with you? To know that what if he himself comes across this? He's of the age where he might be looking online at stuff, and to come across something like this. Okay, exactly, Louisiana girl. And that's one thing I wish they would do more of. The National Center for Missing Endangered Children are the ones who do these. And yeah, sometimes I wish they do more realistic haircuts for the kids, or multiple haircuts. I'm happy they at least do this. I definitely am very happy they at least do this. But yeah, it would be nice if we get more realistic stuff. So, yeah, I'd rather him be with a family instead of God knows what. And his mom should never have had control. And I agree with that. I agree with that. To me, the fact that she wanted to put him up for adoption and still ended up with half custody. I know law is forced to stay within limits, but gang, did anything ever happen to the couple? Good question, Frazzled. That's one of the things I need to do a hell of a lot more research into. Like I said, I got to on the video that I came across, about 20 more minutes left of that video. So please go to that video and check it out. Let me see. There, it's still showing. So go check that out. I do know, and she does share it. There are telephone calls from jail. Okay. So that things happen within that, where she's sitting here saying, oh, no. Okay. Mom's saying, oh, well, you set him up with a friend of yours. And she's like, no, I didn't do that. And there's all these things there. So there's a hell of a lot more information out there. Okay, Red Rock. Thank you. I was wondering, and I was like, okay, some of you might have more information on this than even I do. I had never heard of this case, gang. I had never heard of this case. From what I hear, a lot of people that were local were very upset about it because they felt mom should have gotten a hell of a lot more. I agree. 5 years for this. Okay, this is affecting someone's whole life. Okay, and she got 5 years. So thank you. Thank you, Red Rock. If I find any more articles or videos or anything about this case, I will definitely post them on my community tab because I want to find out a little bit more also. It's just, yeah. Elizabeth, Crystal, you may recall the girl I love, the mom that stole her as a baby. Very conflicted. There you go. Yeah, you followed it when it was fresh. Okay, there you go. Yeah, it's really, I think that's one of the problems I get being out in Hawaii. I'm so far away from most of the regional stuff. Oh, got it. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Louisiana. Did you do that on Discord, my dear? Let me check. Nope, I don't see it there. Let me know where you did that, Louis. DM? Okay. Why is it not showing up? Discord DM or Facebook? Sorry, I have too many DMs, don't I? Yeah. Okay, let me change out accounts real quick because I have 2 freaking accounts, my family account and everyone else. By the way, guys, if you want to join onto the Facebook group, yeah, go for it, Christola. Thank you so much. I am trying to get us a little bit more. There. No, that's a picture from Tammy. Okay, let's see. My fault trying. Okay, no problem. I'll keep, I'm good at talking until I find it. And also, my mom always tells me, you talk nonstop, girl. And yeah, I do. Not going to fight it. It's the truth. Totally the truth. And also, but yeah, it really is just here. Actually, while we're doing that, I can share this with you guys. So I've got the normal posters. I'll make sure I don't think I updated them on my community tab, but I will. I think I still have Aries from earlier. But I do have both of them. I do find it interesting. They do have 2 different phone numbers if people have any information. Okay, Discord, got it. Both San Antonio and Tempe, if anyone has any information. Oh, okay, I see ya. I see what you're talking about. Okay, let me pull this up and share my screen. Stop that screen save. And let's see, share screen. Window, Discord. There we go. Okay, so this is more of a normal haircut for kids our age. So actually, that's something where we could go in there and do all of our fun little editing fun and combine that picture's face with the hairdo. But yeah, most kids are not Mr. Prep. They love to always put prep for everyone, I swear. So, but yeah, we're keeping an eye out for him. If we can share this, we don't know. He could literally be, gang, in this case, Gabriel, or whatever his name is nowadays, literally could be living on my island. That's how long this has been. He could be with any family in any state. Okay, hell, he could be in another country for all we know. Okay, this is one of those cases where all of us need to share as far as we can. It's hard because like here, when I did the poster, I'm like, well, do I put the height and weight? Well, to be honest, I don't think it's going to help anyone if I tell them he was 20 pounds when he disappeared. But what can be done? Okay, he is at the age where even if they colored his hair, but he could color his hair. Okay, but he does have the blue eyes. And they do have, okay, an idea of the facial Okay, definitely a sweet kiddo. I mean, his baby pictures are just absolutely adorable. Absolutely adorable. So, but yeah, if you guys can help me out with this, help me share that. Also, please keep Aries and his family. I don't know whether any family members were involved or if the little guy just got up in the middle of the night and someone forgot to lock their doors and he wandered out. All we know is he is no longer with us. And no matter what, there are family members who are hurting tonight. So, oh, you don't, Christola? Oh my God, I've got to fix that. Here, 1 second. I will fix that after. At least you got the invite though. Okay, I'll fix that afterwards, my dear. So if you guys can just help me with sending some prayers out for Aries and his family, his community. He's from an indigenous community. So they've got a tight group of family and friends there. Also tomorrow is Ariel's 1 year anniversary of being missing. We think that she was probably killed about a month before she was announced missing. If I can get done with work early enough, I will try to do an update live with you guys for her tomorrow. This weekend, I can't go to the candlelight vigil, but I'm going to try to get out there. They're doing a memorial thing for her this weekend. I'm going to try to get out there. I got one of my best friend's birthday party that I actually scheduled and arranged. We're singing karaoke and I have to be there now. I didn't know they were scheduling this on Saturday. So, but I'm going to try to at least be there for part of it. So I'll let you guys know if I can get out live tomorrow. As soon as I get done with work, I'll try to do something to let you guys know what's going on with her, because she deserves justice. They have changed the court dates, the trial date 5 times, I think, at this point, and she needs justice. Okay, it's bad enough that she doesn't have a burial spot right now where family and friends can go and be with her. Okay, she needs justice. So anyhow, we'll talk about that one though tomorrow. So love all of you guys so much. Please keep an eye out for Gabriel. Help us share his story out there. Okay, I truly believe this is one time where a cold case truly could still be a case that can be solved. Okay, solved by bringing family back together. So love all you guys. I'm going to go take care of the dogs that have gotten awfully quiet all of a sudden, I've noticed, which is kind of, anyone with children, you know what quiet usually means. So talk to y'all later. Aloha. Thanks for hanging out. And thank you, Ringo. Thank you. It was a little different than normal, but this case really, yeah, a lot to it. Thank you. Thank you for the feedback. And so, yeah, they all deserve it. They do. So, and I got to figure out what was up with Nana, by the way, Crystal. Sorry, I'm not sure what's going on there. So you and I can talk about that after, because I want to make sure she's got access here. Love you all. Talk to y'all later. Aloha and mahalo.